Hi, I'm Max from MMR Performance. Due to our highly anticipated performance parts range set for release in early 2019, we've decided to treat our customers to an early release with our new MMR Performance precision machined gearshift paddle set. Produced from aircraft grade 6061 aluminium, our highly anticipated gearshift paddles are hand polished before being anodised in our signature grey anthracite. In addition, we have also produced a limited batch of paddles anodised in high gloss titanium silver, which will be available on a first come, first served basis. Precision machined for comfort and grip, each paddle carries the MMR logo as a seal of approval and will instantly transform the look of your cockpit. They're available now through the MMR online store while stocks last. Go to www.mmrperformance.co.uk. Fitting is relatively straightforward and takes between 10 and 20 minutes, and we'll be fitting them to our M4 GTS demo vehicle in this video. The tools you'll need for fitting, we use a T30 Torx bit to get the airbag off the steering wheel just to release the spring. You could use a flat blade screwdriver or a Phillips head screwdriver of a similar diameter. We also use a T20 Torx for removing the screws that hold the paddles to the steering wheel, and you'll also need a pick or something with a small ended diameter to push the existing pin out of the plastic mechanism on the existing paddle. So we're opening our dark anthracite paddles first, as they're what we're going to be fitting to this M4. Here is the dark versus the titanium. We'll have some close-up shots which should be added in. These paddles will replace all of the M-car paddles on the F-Series cars, so the M135s, M235s, M140, 240s with the plastic paddles like this. They'll also replace the M2, M3, M4, M5, M6, X5Ms, X6Ms. They will replace these plastic paddles on diesels as well, as long as they have the later F-Series steering wheel. They fit all of them because the mechanism is the same. So we'll take the dark anthracite paddles out now and we'll get them fitted to the vehicle. So we're now in the M4 GTS. We've gone for the dark anthracite for this vehicle to match up with the carbon fibre on the steering wheel. We have already disconnected the battery on the vehicle. You'll need a 10mm socket or spanner for that. We'll go ahead first with the T30 Torx bit. So on this steering wheel, if you're not familiar with it, there is a hole down this side of the steering wheel under here, and the same on the other side under here. So you get your T30 and you slide it in, and there is a spring that you'll feel it locate on. When we've got the airbag out, it should be a bit more obvious. But you give it a wiggle in and slide it up until it hits the spring, and the airbag should just pop out like so. And then you do the same on the other side. So wiggle in. So now the airbag is removed from its retaining springs. You need to unplug it and slide that out. We usually just put that on the passenger seat. So what I'm doing with this Torx bit is I've got it going through this hole here, and then this spring here is what's retaining the airbag. So I'm just pushing that up here out the way, so the ball on the bottom of the airbag here is released. So the spring there retains in this bit here, so we're pushing it out of the way so this bit will slide out. So now you need your T20. So this Torx bit here on the left holds the paddle on. So turn this whilst just supporting the paddle so it doesn't drop out. Be careful when you remove the paddle slightly away from the steering wheel. We don't take the whole mechanism off because the plug down there is located in a slightly different position to the older steering wheels. So you can get away with just holding it back from the wheel. Get your pick. In the mechanism there is a little pin. They're the opposite way around on each side as it's a mirrored part. But you just push the pin out of the mechanism, so it slides out of the top, and there you have it, it's lifted out. You then have to just unhook the original paddle off the back of the plastic mechanism. There's two locating hooks here that just hook on, and then get your new paddle for the correct side and hook it back on and reverse the process. So you have to open that like so, and then slide the paddle towards the steering wheel slightly until it won't go any further, and then it just unhooks out of those little hooks here, out of that. So you want to go like that basically until it won't move, and then pull it. Make sure you don't drop this spring or this little pad that the clicky mechanism's on. If it does, you can reassemble it, but just make sure you don't lose it in the footwell of the vehicle. So here are the two paddles. I'm just comparing the two paddles before we fit the new one. The existing M4 paddle is an aluminium paddle bolted to a plastic fitting part. As you can see, the size is quite different. It gives you a lot better reach on more area of the steering wheel to change gear, and drastically improves the look of the wheel. So now pick up the pin that you pushed out. If you look at it closely, you'll see one end has a slight domed end and the other end is a nicely flat, crisp right angle corner. You want the domed end to go in first. It's a very slightly smaller end when you put it back in the same way it came out. But get the paddle and slide it back on, reverse process to what you've previously done, taking the paddle off. So just line it up, then click it together to line up the holes, and push the pin back in the top. Now that the paddle's connected back onto the mechanism, you just slowly feed the wire back through to take up the slack, locate the paddle on the steering wheel, and then get your T20 Torx screw and just slowly wind it in to locate it, and do it back up. You don't need to go over tight with those. And that is your paddle fitted, and then repeat the process on the other side. So now we've got both the paddles fitted to the steering wheel, it's time to fit the airbag back on. So just reverse the process, make sure you have it the right way up, and click the plug in at the top. So then now it's just in place, just firmly push the wheel until it clicks both sides and locates back into place. Now you have the paddles finished and on the steering wheel, don't forget to connect your battery back up. Enjoy your new driving experience.